All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, happy Tuesday, November the 23rd, 2021. Hope you're all doing well. Chris Phillips here, the Daily Crow, the Spurs Up Show. Appreciate you all tuning in, taking your questions, your comments, and your calls as well. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Of course, we got a lot to get into. It is Tuesday of Carolina Clemson week. Also, it is game day for Carolina men's basketball as the Gamecocks will take on the Wofford Terriers tonight at 7 o'clock at CLA. Yours truly will be in the building. Looking forward to that, getting back on the hardwood after the big win over UAB last week. Also, of course, because of Thanksgiving week, Carolina calls tonight with Shane Beamer and Coach Beamer speaking to the media at 1:15. So we will tune into that to hear his full thoughts ahead of the Carolina-Clemson game this weekend. So again, a lot to get into here on a Tuesday. Let's see. I see Travi, Rocketman, Wesley, Will Collins, Cody Gaskins, Lindsey Hagler, Brennan M., Andrew Thomas, Leonard Matthews, Nan, Tim Dorn. The entire crew is here, man. Phil Harris, what's going on? Appreciate y'all tuning in. Stephanie Lee, Twan Love Kicks, what's going on? Everybody is here. The entire gang is here. Again, appreciate you all tuning in, guys. Again, taking your questions, your comments, your calls. Would love to hear from you here on this Tuesday. Again, guys, we're rocking and rolling. Lots to get into. Before we do, I do want to tell you about our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm because the Daily Crow is presented to you by our friends at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Guys, they're young with experience and aggressive attorneys. They're both former prosecutors who used to represent insurance companies, but switching sides. They both worked at larger law firms where they represented hundreds of clients at a time. And guys, they both left to start their own law firm because they understand you're not just a line item, you're not just a number, you're a real human being, and you should be treated as such. They're a small boutique law firm that treats their clients like family. Guys are going to know who you are and treat you like a client and not a number. They handle injury cases that arise from car accidents and work accidents. Guys, do not try to take on the insurance company yourself. You've been involved in any type of accident, no matter what it is. The last thing that you should be dealing with is paperwork, dealing with the insurance company. Let the experts over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm handle it for you, guys. They use the latest technology to make representation efficient yet effective. Again, let them take care of everything for you. You don't even pay them unless they recover money for you. Rami's in Columbia, Curtis in Charleston. They handle cases statewide. They also offer virtual or in-person consultations at no charge. Guys, give them a call today in Columbia, 803-973-0304, or in their Somerville location, 843-388-3368. Or, of course, your one-stop shop, their website, dsinjurylaw.com. That is dsinjurylaw.com for more information. Again, guys, it's our friends over at Dason and Shalabi Law Firm. Be sure to check them out and tell them that Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you. All right, taking your questions, your comments, your calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Also, if you are in the Big Cock Club Discord, head over to the TDC Questions channel, to be sure your questions are answered. We've already got some questions in there. Brendan M. says, over under, how many crayon-eating potatoes are going to join us today? The limit does not exist, Brendan. Who knows? Phil, daily weather for New Hampshire, 37 degrees and sunny, bro. It is cold. It was cold this morning. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump to the phone lines here.
Call from
Skyland Davis.
Skyland, what's up, man? How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, my man. I'm doing well.
How's your week going?
It's going pretty good. Content is flowing. That is putting it lightly. And, it's Carolina Clemson week. So, it's very easy to get excited. I'm excited for Thanksgiving as well, but really just all eyes set on the Carolina Clemson game. Excited for basketball tonight. I tell you, man, the last week or so in Gamecock Nation has been absolutely incredible. I don't know. This might be like the greatest week we've ever had as far as on field, on court, just results, with what all the teams are doing. So it's been a great week. We're busy. We're very, very busy, which being busy is a blessing. That's exactly how I like it. And, yeah, man, it's a great week so far. So,
taking a few days off?
No, God, no, absolutely not. Absolutely, dude. It's Carolina Clemson week. You can't take days off. I mean, I'll go home for Thanksgiving, so there will be no Daily Crow that day. But I mean, podcast will drop as normal. There'll be plenty of content on social media. I mean, dude, it's Carolina Clemson week. I mean, it's Thanksgiving week, but it's game week, man. It's game week. There's no taking off for yours truly, not at all.
Right. I want to call and give you my prediction of the game.
All right, go ahead, fire away. I'm curious to hear.
I don't want to kill nobody's good vibes, but you know what's about to come with me. I want Carolina to win badly. If you're a Gamecock fan, you do not come in this game and say, Clemson's going to beat us. Absolutely not. I want us to destroy Clemson. But if I take the Gamecock out of me, I don't think we have the athletes to compete with Clemson. Is Clemson a great team? No. Clemson's got more athletes than you do. Will they score on you? It's going to be close. But can your offense compete against their defense? Which I don't think we can. So I do have the Tigers beat the Gamecocks, but I would love an upset, in my opinion. I would love an upset.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, Clemson is a 10-point favorite or 11-point favorite or whatever it is now. So, hey, listen, that's fair.
We're not there yet. We're just not there yet. We just don't have to – like Clemson has to work a bad offense, but they are getting hot at the right time. And we won some games. And yes, we won some good games, and we're bowl eligible, and we're 6-6, and we're farther than what I thought we'd be year one. Because I did say between 4 and 7 wins. But I just don't – I feel like Clemson's offense ain't there. Which they're not going to score on you like they're used to, which will make it closer. But you against their defense, because their defense is still stout. I just don't think you have the talent on offense to run against their defense, and I think that's going to be a difference maker.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I think that's the reason that Vegas has continued to make Clemson big favorites in all their games because, I mean, it's puzzling, right? It's like, why? I think Vegas believes that at some point, you know, Clemson does have a roster full of 5-star players technically. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. The way that things have gone for them this year really, truly doesn't make sense. So, I mean, I respect the prediction. I'm obviously going to hold off until Friday late in the week. I'm not even close to being ready to drop any type of prediction. I will predict I think it's a close game no matter what. I think it's a really, really close game. The best game in the rivalry since 2014, 2013 probably really. So I think it's a close ball game. But, you know, you make valid points. I'll tell you this. At this point, you are who you are, right, in the season. You are who you are. And I don't expect South Carolina to go out there and score 50 points. I just don't. And I think anybody else that does it's a little bit of wishful thinking. You know, Clemson's got a good defense. That's what they've been riding all season. Carolina's got a good defense. That's what they've been riding all season. I mean, it really, to me, the biggest question in the game is just simply going to come down to, again, just like every other game. I know it's boring to talk about, but line of scrimmage, offensive line, can you get any sort of run game going? Because I think, again, it's going to be a scenario where your defense is going to give you a chance. They're good. When I look at DJ Uiagalelei, and maybe I'll eat these words next week. When I look at DJ Uiagalelei, I see more of Taj Boyd than I do Deshaun Watson or Trevor Lawrence. And Taj is a buddy of mine, by the way, but that's the reality. When we're talking specifically the Carolina-Clemson game, I see more of a DJ Uiagalelei, or excuse me, a Taj Boyd when I look at DJ than I do a Deshaun Watson or Trevor Lawrence. So I think Jay Jennings-Barre, that crew, I think Clayton White has proven we're going to have a good game plan ready to go. We're going to play good defense. It's just, will we be able to move the football consistently enough, you know what I mean, to keep them off the field, to control the ball game? Can we win time of possession again? You know, it will come down to those things. Because, again, I think this is, you know, Vegas, the over-under was at 41 yesterday. It looks like it's bumped up to 43.5 now. So, but it's going to be a lower scoring game. I don't see a scenario in which it's 38-35 or anything crazy like that. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I think both teams are going to try to lean on their defense. I think, you know, I think this is going to be kind of a slugfest in the sense of I think neither is going to want to make a mistake first. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be kind of, I hate to say conservative, but, you know, neither's going to want to make that big mistake first. I don't know. On the other hand, I could see South kind of going out and just letting it all hang, and you got nothing to lose because you're already bowl eligible. But, yeah, I think it'll be a lower scoring game either way. And the question is just simply, can we move the ball consistently enough to win the game?
Keys to the game for the South Carolina to win, for me, isn't going to be run the football because obviously that's Clemson's strength of defense to stop at the run. The keys to the game for me for South Carolina, which goes back to the Jake Bentley Debo game at Clemson, where we put 35 up, is going to be, can the offensive line block long enough for Jason Brown to throw the ball downfield? Because Clemson's weakness is throwing the ball downfield. And if the offensive line can hold up and allow Jason Brown and these wide receivers to get open to connect downfield, I think Carolina can roll Clemson. But can the offensive line hold up long enough?
Yeah, that's the big question. That's the big question. Clemson's still got the talented players on the defense. They've still got talented players up front. So, again, it's it's not the most exciting thing to talk about, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to watch this team. And when the offensive line's playing even average, when they're playing well, this team looks night and day different. So that's what it'll come down to.
We do play better at home, and we do play better at home than the road. And it is a Clemson Carolina game. And I'm not trying to back that on nothing on my prediction. It's just players play different during rivalry games, especially players are going to play different Clemson Carolina game. We're going to have more energy and more confidence.
Right.
So it can swing Carolina's way. But if I just look at the football point of view, Clemson's got a better defense than you do. And I have about 4 or 5 Clemson friends that actually played at Clemson. They tell me up and down Carolina's going to beat Clemson. Like good buddies that play at Clemson are telling me Carolina's beating Clemson, and they really believe it. They just think Carolina's going to be more prepared. They tell me Carolina's going to be more confident, and they're going to have a whole lot more energy than Clemson this Saturday. They don't see Clemson beat South Carolina this year, and I hope they're right.
Right. Well, you look at this game a lot like Auburn and Florida for me, just in the sense of, I don't want to say stars align, but this is you couldn't have asked for a better scenario. You got them at home under the lights. You're catching Clemson on a year where they're not nearly what they have been. You're riding momentum.
We'll beat them. This is the year.
Right. Yeah, it's a great opportunity, man. It's a great opportunity, and I expect.
And it can happen, and it's a winnable ball game.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. So. Now, it's a great opportunity, and we'll play with our hair on fire, I think. And, that's a given, the way this team has played all year. So, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I'll leave it at that. It's going to be very fun.
And their wide receivers and the offensive line's not that good either. So, if you're going to this is the week to get pressure on DJ, make him force some mistakes.
Yeah. Again, I look at them a lot like Auburn and Florida, man. Like literally, I look at them like Auburn.
If you go back, 5 years, Clemson was way more talented than you 5 years on the talent side, but they wasn't more talented than you on the D-line and O-line. And the 5 years we beat Clemson in a row, it wasn't because we had better players or we was more talented. They were. But you know what? We was more talented on the line. We got pressure. We made Taj Boyd go picks. We made them make mistakes. The offense and defensive line is going to win this game, either for Clemson or South Carolina Saturday.
Yeah. Bottom line. Yep. I agree.
All right. Be good.
Hey, Skyline, I appreciate you, man. Have a happy Thanksgiving if I don't talk to you before then.
I'll definitely text you Saturday. I'm going to be fired up, boy.
I hear you. Hey, I hear you, man. I'm already ready to go. So
let's pull for a victory. Pull for a victory.
For sure. Skyline, I appreciate you calling in, my guy.
All right. Later.
Good stuff. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. All right, let's get to your questions, guys. Let's get to your questions. We also had a couple more in the TDC questions channel. Brendan M says that Leah Boston named SEC Women's Basketball Player of the Week. Definitely well-deserved. Phil says lunch for today, vegan pizza after 2 p.m. because your boy is intermittent fasting. Attaboy, Phil. Manchester United playing Villarreal shortly. Let's go United. The DGD podcast. What's going on, my guy? Let's see. Let me get back to your questions. Lindsay Hagler says, love the whiteboard. Yeah, teach a small child to hate Clemson. Let's see. Travis says, honestly, I don't think Clemson's run game is nearly as good as Auburn or Florida's. It's a fair point. Jeff Gullidge, I grew up hating orange so much. I hate Halloween and Home Depot because they're orange. My dad would not even eat the orange M&Ms when we ate M&Ms. That's dedication right there, Jeff. I love that. Luke Boyd, what's going on? Feels great to be a Gamecock indeed. Ryan Smith, getting my Clem Sucks beanie in today. Glad to have it to wear for the game this weekend. Yes. Love to hear it. Cameron Blassingame says, grew up in the upstate but went the Garnet way, and I tell you, I've been hearing all week that these Clem Bum fans are legitimately worried about us. Well, I mean, look at the way they're acting on social media. It's a blast, by the way. I'm having a blast picking at these people. It's too easy. It's too easy. Preston Lude says, one of my favorite weeks of the year, of course, every week is hate week on Clemson, but this week is just extra. Yeah, for sure. AJ Bowers, what's going on? Courtney Washington, AJ Wilson. Yeah, he's back tonight. Back tonight. Big time. Very, very big time. Will Collins, how do you think our offense will do against their defense? Again, that's the big question, right? That's the big question. I expect, like I said, just like every other game, I expect our defense to keep us in this ball game. I think they're going to give us a chance. It'll all come down to, again, stopping the run, opportunistic turnovers, things of that nature. But offensively, can we help out our defense? Offensively, can we control the game? Offensively, can we win time of possession? Can we put drives together? Hey, when we get to the red zone, can we score touchdowns and not kick field goals, right? Can we do that? That was a huge part of the win over Auburn, right? I mean, we won 21-17. You kick a field goal in any of those spots, we're going to overtime. So converting there as well, again, it's boring, but just comes down simply to execution, man. Executing those little things, especially in a game like this, a rivalry game, there will be so much emotion. Which team on the field can subside the emotion and just get back to, hey, this is a football game. At the end of the day, this is a huge deal for fans, and that's something that in a lot of my conversations with former players, they talk about, and some people this might rub them the wrong way, but they talk about this game is a much bigger deal for the fans than it is the players. And I think what they mean by that, again, guys, is this is another football game. At the end of the day, it is a football game. You have all that emotion and energy and that hatred from the players' side of things, right, going into the game. But once that first snap is, once that first snap takes place and that first hit, you get popped, hey, you're just playing football in the backyard again. It's a football game. You got to execute. The team that executes best will win the football game. So, that's what it'll come down to. Phil says in the TDC question channel, my best friend who supported Clem Sucks all his life thinks Carolina is going to win the game. Interesting. Don't listen to the rat poison, Phil. Courtney Washington says, Chris, what are your thoughts on the men's going 3-2 or 4-1 without Keyshawn? My opinion, I think with either record without him is huge for the team going forward because it can build confidence. I think tonight, Courtney's a very big game. Talking on Gamecocks basketball, I think it's a big game. You need to build off that UAB win, put a couple of good performances together, build some momentum. If you can go 4-1 without Keyshawn Bryant, to me, that's huge. That's great. Rhett Godwell, Corn Blue says the Gamecocks won't be able to run the ball to the outside like we did against Auburn. If that's the case, how much will we need to change up our offense? I think DeQuandre White was going to be able to run the football. I'm going to leave it at that. I think he will. Yeah, I think he will. So let's see. Wesley Sizemore says, I was telling everyone earlier in the year we could win 8 to 10 games this year. We can still reach 8 with a bowl win this week and a bowl win. We had solid chances to win against Kentucky, Mizzou, and Tennessee. We've been more disciplined in regards to turnover penalties. Everyone said I was crazy. We've got the talent. They just needed to gain confidence in themselves and each other, learn to win again. Wesley, I would still say saying this team could have won 10 games is the most garnet glasses, overly optimistic. I mean, we also could have won 4 games. So, hey, just be happy we're 6-5 going in this game. I'll just say that. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? Woulda, coulda, shoulda. I mean, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Coach Ford, do you have any more updates on the Marcus Satterfield leaving rumors? If not, make something up to kick off the holiday weekend. No, I mean, I've just heard things that make me feel at least to the point where it would not shock me if there's a change. That's all I'll say. I mean, again, they're all rumors. Who knows? I will tell you this. I don't think we're going to have the same coaching staff kickoff of 2022 that we had at kickoff of 2021. I'll just leave it at that. If I had to bet, I'm a gambling man. If I had to bet, that's what I would bet on. Let's see. Daddy-O says Army scored 56 on that stingy Wake defense. AJ Bauer says we shut down the run game, we'll win the game. And I hate to say it, but we'll have to throw the ball a good bit to win this game. Well, you better scheme up some pass plays then. Michael Sawyer says Venable's pressure looks can be very deceiving. I hope Jason Brown doesn't let it affect him too much. Yeah, again, the game plan for Jason Brown, very similar to what he's done thus far. Take care of the football. That is priority number 1. Don't put it in harm's way. Take care of the football. SC football, too, that Wake Forest team is the same team that choked a 45-27 lead of the Tar Heels. Just putting that out there. Clemson Poverty Program. Let's see. Let's see. Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. The comments and the questions are rolling in. Good Lord, there's so many, I can't even get to them all. Let's see. SC Football, oh, God, I almost spilled my water. SC Football 2 says, TSUS sends a tweet, Clemson fans, never again, oh, we own you, Carolina sucks, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's been really funny. The replies have been very, like I said, I've been having a time on social media with those guys. And it ain't over. It's only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday at lunch. Phil Harris says, how do you compliment a Clemson fan? Nice tooth. I love it. Phil also says, why is there no ice in the drinks at Clem Sucks? The senior with the recipe graduated. Justin says, what's up, TSUS gang? Happy Tuesday. I would get in trouble every year because I would tell my sister she was adopted because she was the only Clem Sucks fan in the house. I love that. I love that. Rocket Main, the Discord link. Yeah, that's the Big Cock Club Discord. If you go to our link in bio, you join the Big Cock Club, you can get that Discord link. Again, the Discord has been on fire this week. It has been on fire. Clemson Tigers is back in the chat after getting absolutely owned yesterday. He said, you Coots actually think you'll win the game. That's what I think is most hilarious. You actually think you'll win. You know, I don't know. Do Carolina fans call Clemson fans taters like that? Because Coots has really stuck for them, which is so funny. Todd Smith with the super chat. Thank you, Todd. Good day to hate Clem Sucks indeed. Yeah, if you guys want to support the channel, support the business, support the content, support everything we do, and you're on YouTube, you can do so through super chat, super stickers. Hey, again, appreciate you, Todd. Appreciate all those that support the content, support everything we do. Like I said, let's see. Brian Dean says South Carolina 27, Clemson 13. Love that. Hey, we got that. We got the merch too. Cuck Clemson, Clemson Tigers. Here you go. Gonna be rocking the merch all week. We'll be rocking the merch all week long. Brad Purgle says, best thing to ever come out of Clemson, I-85 heading out. Win the turnover battle and stop the run. You got a good chance. For sure. Again, you are, both sides, you are who you are at this point, right? You are who you are. I think the keys to victory, the game plan is very simple for both sides. You think back to when the Gamecocks had a 5-game winning streak over Clemson, what were they doing well? They were winning the turnover battle. That's a huge part of it. They were running the football, capitalizing on every single Clemson mistake. It'll come down to that yet again. Let's see. Chad Rollins says, what do you call a virgin from Clemson? I don't know. I don't even want to guess. I want you to tell me. Let's see. Ernest Harrison, stop the run and pressure. DJ Uyangalele, 55% completion percentage with a 9 TD to 8 interception ratio. He's averaging less than 200 yards a game passing. Yeah, get after DJ, man. He'll give it up to you. Get after DJ. Let's see. Brian Dean, how do you get a one-armed Clemson fan out of a tree? You wave at him. So I guess Tuesday today is the joke day. We got all the best jokes coming in. I love it. All the jokes are coming in. Absolutely love it. All right, let's jump back to the phone lines.
Call from
Wesley Newmar.
Wesley, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. It felt good to see North Augusta pop up on my phone. That been a while, I think, since I got a call from North Augusta.
Yeah. So I was just hopefully having a good week, and hopefully we have a great game this weekend. But coming out of the Auburn game, I actually had several fans come up to me and say that they were, I guess, bullied and spit at, and people tried to start fights with them and stuff like that. So I just want to say, going into the Clemson weekend, the trash talking, the bashing Clemson, all that fun and games and all, but let's not stoop down to their level and be throwing crap on the field for any reason and, getting that crazy with Clemson fans. As much as we might not like them, it just doesn't need to get brought down to that type of level,
And I would agree with you. I will say, though, Clemson fans, I feel like on social media go so over the top in regards to talking about experiences at Williams-Brice Stadium. And listen, every single fan base has bad fans. Every single one of it. Even South Carolina, Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State, Florida, they all do. Everybody, they're just dumb idiots in the world. But, I mean, I'm not discrediting the experience you had or what you heard, but it is hilarious to watch the Clemson fans on social media act like they're like babies being thrown off the upper deck. I mean, it's comical, it's laughable. I mean, you go on the road for a rivalry game, you kind of know what you're signing up for. I'm not saying spit at people and make ridiculous gestures, but I mean, some of the stuff I see on social media, they just, it's almost like some people just bring it upon themselves. Be like, really? Did that really happen? I don't know. But I agree with you. Talk your trash talking. Hey, we talked about it during baseball season. Heckling is an art form. Be smart about it. Be witty about it. Don't make personal attacks or, I mean, obviously if you're spitting on somebody, you're just a terrible human being.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. I feel like Clemson fans, they go so over the top in regards to the game day experience at Williams-Brice. I'll just say that.
Oh, I completely agree. I mean, I'm working my way to hit every SEC stadium, and I really haven't been, I won't say personally treated that way at pretty much any of the stadiums. But of course, you run into your few fans that's gonna be drunk and idiots, and that's what I tell most of them. Is every fan base has got that. Every fan base has got the person that wants to, get in your face and get mad with you because they've had a few too many. So for sure. It happens. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't think I've ever been to a football game and had like a really just bad experience. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I've gotten lucky, but for sure. Operate with, use your brains, be smart. Don't be a complete douchebag. If you're going to talk trash, be creative about it, and we'll all have a fun Saturday night. So that's right. All right. Go Gamecocks. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Wesley. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, my man. 843-790-3377. I agree with what Wesley was saying. Be smart. Don't make the University of South Carolina look bad. On that note, though, bro, Clemson fans, the way they act about the game day experience at Williams-Brice Stadium, and it's comical, bro. It's comical. Hey, I'll bring the batteries. I'll bring the mustard if you guys bring the golf balls. Hey, if you see me throwing a baby off of the upper deck at Willie B, mind your own business. It's like, bro, give me a break, bro. Like, give me a break. Give me a break. So I'm sure Saturday is going to be a blast. I'm sure Saturday is going to be an absolute blast. Let's see. Peyton Dawkins. Yeah, I saw the video. To God be the glory. Yeah. Just the most cringe-worthy video you'll ever see. Let's see. Yeah, Mark Regal, a bunch of Clem Sucks fans in here. Yeah, man. They don't have I mean, here's the funniest part about Clemson. Clemson's best content creator that they cling to and they've tagged in like every tweet I've put up is Clemson Tom. He doesn't even make content anymore. So I feel bad for him, man. They don't have a single person that is worth a damn they can tune into or rock with or call or talk to the game about. So I feel bad for him. And it sucks for me because, again, there's not a good rival entity that covers them, that talks about them, that's worth a damn. The only guy that I've got in my mentions that even talks about Clemson is a guy that's got a podcast that has 300 followers. Like, really, bro? Get off my jock. Like, for real. Get out of here. So it's a shame. It's a shame, but hey, what are you going to do? All right, let's jump back to the phone lines here. Robbie, what's up, man? How are you?
I didn't even say my name and you knew it was me.
Yeah, I recognize the number at this point, man.
Good. Okay, well, that's good. I kind of had, I had another brain fart and forgot to say my name. I don't know why this happened twice, but that's okay. It's no big deal. to answer here's what I got to say about. I got nothing against Clemson fans. Okay, I got nothing against them. I got relatives that like that team from the upstate, and they are annoying as crap. Okay, they're annoying. Ever since they won those 2 natties, they've been annoying as all get. And to be honest, it's gotten to the point where I'd rather hear a baby cry than listen to a Clemson fan talk junk.
Yeah, no, they've I used to say that.
If you ask me,
I used to say Georgia
ahead,
was my least favorite fan base, and Clemson definitely took over that honor after the success they had. Yeah, for sure.
Now, don't like I said, don't get me wrong. I have no disrespect, but it's Clemson. It's rivalry week, so all the niceness goes out the window this week. Okay?
No, I have all disrespect. Fuck them. How about that? I have all the disrespect. I'll say what you can't. So.
Oh man. Okay. So here's what ticks me off. Okay. What ticks me off is the fact that they have 3 losses and they're still in the ACC title hunt. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. What a power conference.
If NC State and Wake Forest lose Saturday, if they lose Saturday, it will show. And because if both of them lose Saturday, Clemson's going to the ACC championship. Okay. If both of them lose, and Clemson winds up going to the conference championship, being 6-3 or 5-3 or something like that, it just shows how awful the ACC is.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I agree. This is not new news, Robbie. The ACC is, I've obviously been, not the best conference in college football. Safe to say.
But apparently, Clemson thinks they're the Holy Grail.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Well, Let them think. And that's a tough. That's like an Olympic sport for them, thinking. So let them think. Let them continue to think.
That probably hurts their brains too much. They are Clemson fans,
right?
But anywho, I watched the women's basketball game yesterday afternoon. Was it yesterday afternoon or Sunday afternoon? Might have been Sunday. I can't remember. Whichever one it was.
Mm-hmm.
But anywho, I watched the game from start to finish. I watched it I watched it after the game was over because I watched your show, obviously, from noon to 2, and then I went back and watched it. I don't know if you noticed this, but the team that we played against, they only scored 3 points in the fourth quarter. That's it. 3 points. That is it. They hit a 3 in the fourth quarter midway through, and then after that, they didn't score nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, Dawn Staley's team is just incredible, man. That was a great win. That was a great win yesterday. And, I mean, I said it before the season, and it may have sounded crazy to some people, but, God, I mean, we might go undefeated. I mean, truly. This team might go undefeated. So,
I knew we were playing UConn this year, obviously, but I was not expecting us to beat them 73 to 57.
Yeah.
I thought, okay, this is going to be a barn burner. It's going to be a close one. It's going to come down to the wire. Whoever has the ball last is going to win. But then I saw the score because I got the Gamecock app and I got the notification. And I looked at the score twice because I thought I was looking at a joke. I was like, did we really beat UConn that bad? No one has scored 60 points on us yet this year. No one.
Yeah,
they've gotten to like the mid 50s or almost, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, our team's loaded, and we most likely will win the national championship, and we should win it. I mean, we should win it, bro. I mean, it's the same team from last year, plus the number 1 recruiting class in the country, plus Carmela Cardoso, who was an All ACC, basically All American player. I mean, it's there. You have the team to do it. There's no question. You got the team to do it. So
kudos to Dawn Staley on building a absolute powerhouse in women's basketball.
Yeah.
And I didn't really watch. I mean, I watched basketball whenever before Don Staley got there. I watched women's basketball because even though we didn't have Don Staley back then, the girls were actually more fun to watch because they won more than the guys did. But whenever, like I told you before, whenever we hired Don Staley, I was like, oh yeah. I was like, it may take a minute, but we're going to win some national titles in the very near future.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, what she's doing, it's easy to take it for granted because we're so good. We're just so good. But yeah, it's a ton of fun to watch, man. We're getting really spoiled. That's for sure. But it's a blast.
I feel bad for if she winds up staying here her whole career. I feel bad for the coach that's got to follow her.
Yeah, never want to follow the legend, no matter what the sport is.
Like I do. I feel bad for that. I feel bad. I do. But I mean, we and also before she got here, we weren't getting like the top number 1 recruiting classes or the number 2 recruiting classes. We were just getting recruiting classes and somehow winning games. But now we're not just winning games; we are just dominating people from start to finish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I really think we could go wire to wire, man. Number 1 and win the entire thing. I think that's very, very realistic.
Yeah. And one thing that I want to see from the football team this week is the same thing we saw. Is technically what we saw all year. I want to see them play hard. They've been playing hard all year. There's no sense in denying. There's no sense in denying it. They've been playing hard. But I'm telling you right here and now, just like the Citadel game several years ago whenever we lost to the Citadel. You want to know why we lost to the Citadel? This is why I believe we lost to the Citadel. Okay? They executed better than us. Plain and simple. The team that executes better on Saturday night wins the game on Saturday night.
Mm.
And I truly believe, like I told you a couple days ago, I truly believe that Beamer will get these guys ready for Saturday night. He will make sure that they understand what this weekend means to a lot of people in this state, because there's not a pro football team in the state of South Carolina. There's one in Charlotte, but there ain't one in South Carolina. So in South Carolina, this is like our Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. No, it's. I mean, listen, Beamer's been here before. He's been on staff. Yeah, there's no doubt.
He's been here before.
There's no doubt he knows, and everyone knows what it means. As you know, you won't have to worry about. Are we going to be fired up, ready to go? That's not even. I can assure you one thing: we may not win, but we will not lay an egg. We will come to play, and we will play our guts out. And if it's good enough to win, it's good enough to win. But we will do that at minimum. I can assure you of that.
Right. And it's going to be a fun week, regardless of what happens. It's going to be a fun week.
Yeah. No doubt. Trust me, yours truly will make sure that is the case. No doubt.
I will leave you with this. First things first, before I forget, my father is having another knee surgery, his other knee done on December the 7th, so keep him in your prayers.
Will do, man. Prayers up.
Second of all, go Gamecocks, and to heck with Clemson.
To heck with Clemson. Robbie, I appreciate the call, my friend. Brother. Yeah, thanks so much. You too. 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Peyton Dawkins says ESPN, hire this guy. Love it. Robbie Davis, the king of facts. Robbie Davis, the king of facts. Phil Harris is ACC, the almost competitive conference. Let's see. Continuing to take your questions, comments, calls. Guys, again, we're going to tune into Shane Beamer's media availability at, I think, 1:15 is when he'll go live. I saw that My good buddy Mike Yuba said they got out the practice field a little bit late. So, we'll see if he goes live at 1:15, might be a little bit later, whatever. Whenever he's live, we will go live and put that on here, and we'll watch that together. Let's see. Travis Lee says, I promise you the seniors know how important the game is. Peyton Dawkins says, Robbie Davis is the next Kirk Herbstreit. No doubt. No doubt. Hey, Robbie with the analysis. See, all right. Hold on now. Now Clemson Tigers is just talking out the side of his neck. He says, we own the Shamecocks in football and especially in baseball, he says. Clemson Tigers. I don't even want to go there with you, bro. I don't even want to go there with you. I'm not even going to go there with you. I'm gonna let you live on a Tuesday. I'm going to let the people in the comments have their way with you. I'm going to let you live on a Tuesday, my guy. Because I just know you're just trying to start some shit, saying some dumbass shit like that. I know it. I know it. And Clemson Tigers, you don't have to say anything to get me going. I'm going, bro. I'm going. All right? I'm going. There's no getting me going. I've been going since the start of football season. So there is no human being with a functioning brain who thinks Clemson has a better baseball program than South Carolina. It's not even close. Check the rings. Kiss the rings. Pay respect to your elders and kiss the rings. Has anybody ever heard of Omaha before? Anybody? Imagine putting Omaha on your hats and never getting there. Imagine putting Omaha on your hats and never winning a national title ever. So, let's see. Austin Greer, by the way, I saw your comment earlier. Feeling great today, my guy. Feeling great. Feeling great. Coach Ford says, what's more important, Elliott against Satterfield or White against Venables? Good question. Probably Elliott against Satterfield, man, because, again, I think both defenses, you kind of know what you're going to get. It's going to come down to which offense can execute better, who has a better plan. Yeah, I think so. It's got to be the offensive coordinators in my mind. It's got to be the offensive coordinators. Got to be. It's got to be the offensive coordinators. No doubt. Let's see. Tim Dorn says they're having a Clemson season recap. They're replaying every game this year, the season. You can watch it all day Thursday on the Cooking Channel. Look for the Cupcake Wars. Look for the Cupcake Wars. Phil dropped a ton of jokes in the TDC Questions channel in the Big Cock Club Discord. Phil says, I'm going to read a couple of them. He says, and I think this is a very popular one. Directions to Clem sucks. North till you smell it, west till you step in it. No doubt. How did the Clemson fan break his finger? He got punched in the nose. Why do they have to cancel sex ed and driver's ed at Clem sucks? Too hard on the mule. Damn. Damn. Let's see. What does a Clem sucks divorce have in common with a tornado? Someone's losing a trailer. I like that one. How do you make a Clem sucks co-ed stop biting her nails? Make her wear shoes. Nice. Phil coming. Phil, no way Phil is making these up, but those are all incredible. Let's see. Again, guys, questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. I want to continue to hear from you. It's Cuck Flemson. It's honestly just fuck Clemson. I don't really give a damn, bro. I'll just say it. That's what the shirt should have said. I was trying to keep it PG for the kids, or at least PG-13 for the kids and the families. But this week, I can tell you, if you don't like hearing that, if you're bothered by certain language, this is probably not the week for you. So, yeah, again, we're rocking, we're rolling here on a Tuesday, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. My guy Peyton Dawkins says, Clemson fans pee beside you at the urinal when a row of them are open. Indeed. Quick reminder, guys, check out the podcast that dropped this morning at 5:42. Alex McGrath and I talking everything that happened over the weekend, Saturday against Auburn, as well as, of course, looking ahead to this weekend, the rivalry matchup at Williams-Brice Stadium. Also, just a quick reminder, we are live at Tin Roof tomorrow night, 5 to 7. I got a feeling things are going to get a little weird at Tin Roof because, of course, as you all know, tomorrow night is Wednesday night. And what is Wednesday night, the night before Thanksgiving? Oh, it's just like the biggest night in the country to go out on. So, got a feeling things might get a little interesting tomorrow night at Tin Roof, 5 to 7. But again, would love to have you guys come on out. Going to be one hell of a time. Also, again, the podcast dropping as normal this week. Only thing that's different, no Daily Crow on Thursday due to, of course, Thanksgiving. Enjoy that time with your families. Eat some good food. The content will be rolling, but just no Daily Crow, and we'll get back after it on Friday, and, of course, the Daily Crow tomorrow as well. Guys, again, we're rocking. We're rolling here on Tuesday, taking your questions, your comments, your calls, and more. More of all that on the other side of the break. You're tuned in to the Daily Crow. All right, what is up, guys? Taking your questions, comments, calls, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. And I come back, and shit has hit the fan in the comments. Shit has hit the fan. What is going on? Clemson Tigers. Disappointed. Actually, I'm not surprised. I'm not going to read all the comments. You guys obviously see them. I'm not surprised, but anyways, all right. If you're gonna talk smack, get creative with it. Learn how to heckle. But when you start talking about players and injuries, and apparently you're racist as well, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't even know. I'm not even going to go back and read all those. Bryant Hughes, there have been Clemson fans in here all week, man. I just, they don't have another show to go to. There isn't a Clemson content creator that's worth a shit. That's really the problem. Again, it's bad. Like the guy, they've been tagging Clemson Tom in like every piece of content I've been making this week, which we've been on fire with the content, right? We've been on fire. And they're tagging Clemson Tom, like running to him for reassurance or like, please defend me, Clemson Tom. Like, look what he said. Like they're running to their dad. They're running from their dad. And Clemson Tom don't even make content no more. He don't even make content no more. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. He doesn't even make content anymore. Anyways, 843-790-3377. Some of the guys, that's 843-790-3377. We're taking your questions, your comments, your calls. Yeah, I'm not even going to bring light to the Clemson Tigers comments from earlier. Obviously, it was bad enough. You guys are taking care of it. So, again, I would love to hear from you, though. I think we do have a couple of texts that I want to get into. A couple texts. We got a text here that says, do you think part of the reason Mullen didn't get another year at UF because it was how far ahead of schedule coaches like Beamer and Heupel are at their respective programs? I think one of the biggest things that killed Dan Mullen was, again, you can be quirky and weird and different and have your opinions on certain things, but when you're not winning, that gets much, much, much harder to tolerate. And I think that's what you saw happen in Gainesville. I mean, I think Dan Mullen's obviously he's a different dude. He's a very quirky dude. And when he makes comments like he made about, we'll talk about recruiting after the season. From what I heard, he wasn't great on the recruiting trail, even though their classes were solid. Like, he wasn't great in that aspect. And it's like, if you're not good at that, then, I mean, there's no point in even being a football coach. So I think you add all that up together. And I think the expectations of Gainesville are just crazy high. I think they're just crazy high. So I think a bunch of factors went into it. And, I think losing the games he lost this year and losing to coaches like Beamer and Drinkwitz and, what Heupel's doing at Tennessee, yeah, I think certainly that went into it as well. But I think it was stuff beyond the field as well. I think it was stuff beyond the field of play. Let's see. Somebody texting, this Carolina team isn't going to go into the game with the same mentality as the Muschamp teams did. This team knows they can compete. Indeed. Robbie Davis says, I know already called, but if I remember correctly, last time Salcon and Clemson both played and we were both ranked in the top 25, I believe it was 2013. Not 100% sure, though, on that, but I'm pretty positive it was 2013. I think you're right. We got another text. I'm hearing from Clemson fans in my life just pumping up their win over number 10 Wake Forest. And we got a call. So we'll jump to these phone lines real quick.
Call from
Chris. What's going on, man? This is Tyler.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Yeah, what's going on, man? How are you?
What's up, man?
That's not much, man. Just hanging out.
God.
What's up?
I thought I was about to leave a voicemail, and then here I am with Chris Phillips.
Yeah, this is the Daily Crow, so you're live, man. What's up?
Oh man, I got an important question for you.
All right.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
So what do you think there is less of? The average amount of teeth in a Clemson fan's mouth, or the amount of livestock that have not been violated by a Clemson fan?
Oh, that's I probably would go with the teeth, to be totally honest. Totally honest with you. Probably go with the teeth.
I would say the same too. I'm sure
Yeah.
there's some livestock that hear about it from others and that are
Yeah.
hiding.
Well, and there's new
So-
livestock coming up every day. You know what I mean? There's new livestock coming up every day. So,
yeah. Well, nice, man. Dude, I got to tell you, I'm pumped up this week. I'm one of the, I'm in Greenville, so it's, I feel like it's been a traumatizing past few years.
Yeah, I was gonna say you definitely
'cause
feel it. Then you definitely feel it.
Oh, it's upstate Clemson. That's all this is right now.
Yeah.
But that's about to change this weekend. Well, hey, man, thanks for having me on. Let's have a good weekend, and horrid weekend to be a Tiger.
Abysmal, apocalyptic weekend to be a Tiger. Hey, I appreciate the call, man.
Apocalyptic weekend.
If you want to,
Yes, sir.
I don't know if you were calling in to leave a voicemail for the podcast, but if you want to, if you call in a little later, you're more than welcome to. I just, yeah. So you called us during the Daily Crow, my guy. So.
All right, sweet. All right, my man.
All right, appreciate you, my brother. Thanks so much. 843-790-3377. It's always funny when people call and they don't know. Maybe it's people that don't tune in the Daily Crow every day or whatever, but they call in, they just don't realize that we're live. It's like, oh yeah, you're on here, my guy. You're on here. Let's see. Austin Greer, we need a Clemson Tom and TSUS live show. No, we don't. Here's a funny thing. A lot of you probably do not know this, and you don't recall this, which I wouldn't blame you if you didn't, because this was so long ago. But the people the armchair people, if you remember the Armchair South Gunna days, the armchair people and my specific co-host at the time thought it would be a good idea to have Clemson Tom as a guest on the show. And listen, I don't have any disdain for Clemson Tom. I really don't. I have no disdain. I get what he does with the jawing and the jabbing, and it's always in good rivalry fun. But yeah, I'm not doing that, man. I'm not doing that. That's I look back and I'm like, if I have any regrets in my business ever, having Clemson Tom on the show, with all due respect to Clemson Tom, having Clemson Tom on the show was a stupid idea. That was a dumb move. I would never do that again. Yeah. So, yeah. So, anyways, I'll leave it at that. Again, 843-790-3377. McCade says Greenville represent. Yeah, I feel for the upstate Gamecocks. I feel for all my Greenville, Anderson, Spartanburg, all you guys up there in the upstate. I feel for you. Peyton Dawkins, Chris, which is it a worse weekend for? A cold beverage or a Clemson Tiger? That is really close. I think it's a tie. Brian Jordan, do you have any Cuck Flimson merch on hand to purchase this week? Unfortunately, Brian, I do not. Don't have inventory right now. I can tell you this, for next football season, I'm going to make it a point to have inventory. I thought about getting inventory for the tailgate on Saturday, and it just honestly was so last minute, just was unable to get it made and, get what we needed done. So we'll not have it. You can still order it on the online store, of course, tsus.store, but we will have merch on hand next year for next football season. I can guarantee you that. That is something that is going to be a goal of mine for 2022. So I feel like Jeremiah Seth Stewart wants me to acknowledge his comment about moral victories. And who's talking moral victories this week? Are we talking moral victories right now, Jeremiah? No, nobody is. So I don't understand where you're coming from or where that baseless comment is coming from for you. So, yeah. Let's see, Nate Moore. I'm ready to have the feeling of a win over Clemson. However, if a loss is the outcome, I see the progress and know without a doubt we're heading in the right direction. Yeah. No, obviously we all want to win the game, man. That's a no-brainer. We want to win the game. Either way, you've had a good year. Bowl eligibility in Shamer's first season. It's a great season. So no doubt no matter what happens on Saturday, you cannot take that away. But, man, it would be very, very sweet to get that one as well. It would be very, very sweet. Let's see. We got a text here on the text line. It says, hey, man, love the show. Thank you so much. It says, I'm a Carolina Panthers YouTuber, Pantherology. My name is Clay. In each of the previous 2 games, the Gamecocks have failed to contain the run. Jason Brown has to avoid the big turnovers to keep us in the game. It will be critical for the defense to tighten up on that front 7. Give me your thoughts and predictions. Also, I'm a Gamecock fan, obviously born and raised. Hey, appreciate you, my man. Appreciate the kind words, and best of luck with your show, Pantherology, by the way. I lived in Charlotte for 4 years and, got nothing but love for the Panthers. But, yeah, no, I agree with you. Stopping the run, running the ball, stopping the run for sure. You got to do those things. Yeah, Jason Brown protecting the football, I agree. I will drop my predictions later in the week. I will drop my prediction later this week. But, yeah, thoughts on the game, man? I mean, honestly, I'm extremely confident. I think Gamecock fans should be nothing but confident. I mean, listen, Clemson's been ass this year. They've been ass. Like, let's just call it for what it is. They've been not a win over Wake Forest is not going to make me feel like, oh, my God, they got it figured out. Like, bro, they've been trash. They've been hot dog water all season long. So Gamecock fans should be nothing but almost to an obnoxious level confident. Absolutely. At home at night on your home field, you should be confident. I'm confident as all get out. Again, I'll drop my prediction late in the week, whatever. I think it's going to be a close, tight ball game, going to be a good ball game. But Gamecock fans should be nothing but confident. I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. So, and I'm confident. Is that me saying I'm picking a Gamecocks win? No, it is not. But I am very confident. I can tell you that. Let's see. My guy Peyton says, I went to Clemson, NC State in 2014. It's so much quieter than even 60,000 in Williams-Brice Stadium. Yeah. Shane Beaver making that point last night at Tiger Burn, which, if you were there, by the way, was a really, really good time. Appreciate all those that came up, said what's up, showed their love and support for the show and everything else. So, yeah. Really appreciate you guys. But Shane Beaver mentioned that at Tiger Burn, that the biggest crowd they've played in front of this year on the road, which the mouth breathers of Clemson fans that didn't realize that's what he meant. It's hilarious. But, yeah, the largest crowd they've played in front of was like 57,000. So bring the noise, man. Pack Willie B. Pack Willie B. Bring the noise. Go freaking crazy. Make life hell. A living hell for Clemson. Make life a living hell. Daddy-O says, why does Dabo keep looking at his own nose? I don't know, Daddy-O, why. John Gibbs, Chris, do we rush the field and we win? We damn well should and run over to the staff to get in the way. I mean, I'm going to be in the upper deck, so I guess I'll jump down and parachute my way down there. That's what it takes. Let's see. OU owns you says Clemson fans are pathetic. Yeah, again, I don't want to spend really any or give it any attention it deserves. If your trash talk is talking about a player that suffered an injury, a career-ending injury, I mean, you're scum of the earth, bro. You're literally scum of the earth. You are. So you can talk all you want, but that's what you are. That's even I, as obnoxious as I'll be this week, I'm not going to go make fun of Joseph Nada for getting hurt this week or Justin Ross or whoever. Like, come on, man. Come on. You're scum of the earth, bro. You're scum of the earth. But I wouldn't expect much different from a Clemson fan tuned into the Daily Crow. So, SC Football 2 says, currently living all the way in Arizona. I can't come to Columbia as much as I would love to. I couldn't see the Tiger Burn in person. So I plan on doing my own Tiger Burn this week, and I'll record it. SC Football 2, I love that. I absolutely love that. Tyler Poole says, what section are you sitting in? I'm actually not 110% sure yet. I just know the tickets are home side upper deck. That's all I know. So not 110% sure what section it is yet, but I will be there. Jeff Gullidge, an ACC homer report for ESPN, said yesterday on ESPN radio that Dumbo Sweeney should get Coach of the Year for the job he's done. That is like, he actually said that. Come on now. Coach of the year for what? For what? What has he done? Taking a bunch of 5-star talent and won 8 games with it?
Call from
Number one tater hater.
Phil, a.k.a. number one tater hater. What's up, man?
Hey, man, I just wanted to call in and say I'm excited for the game, and this is the first time in a couple of years. I mean, obviously the rivalry is huge, and we want to win. But, you know, in previous years I didn't have a lot of confidence going into the game, for obvious reasons, when we were under Will Muschamp's direction. And, you know, this year I feel like we've got a chance for sure. You know, I wish we had played them earlier in the season. They seem to be getting a little bit better on offense. You know, I don't watch their games. I don't pay attention. I know one player, and his first name is DJ on their team, and that's it, Jack. I don't care about them. You know, when the rivalry comes around for that week, you know, I start paying a little bit more attention. But otherwise, I could care less about what happens in the upstate. That is very different than Taters. You know, looking at us every single week to see what's going on, coming into our chat rooms and talking all kind of mess all the time, it seems like. Mm-hmm. So, you know, there's just a different mentality when it comes to that sort of thing. But, yeah, just really excited about the game, man. And, yeah, I think we got a good chance of winning. Right now I'm driving in the Intimidator here down the road. I'm glad I'm not in Clemson within their city limits, because I would have to roll my windows up, because people say the degree is so easy to get there. They're literally throwing degrees into people's windows as they're driving by. So good thing I'm not there.
I love
all
it.
right, man. Yeah, dude. Just excited for the game. You know, the rivalry is great. And just to end on this note, fuck Clemson. Go Cox.
Well said, Phil. Very well said. Love it. Love it. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. Phil, I couldn't have said it any better myself, Phil. Thank you. Thank you for that call. That was incredible. That was incredible. Phil also saying in the TDC question channel, Phil is on fire today, by the way. Phil in the TDC question channel says, Clem sucks University, where men are men, women are too, and the sheep are scared. Love that. Victoria Lynn Kelly, go Cox. Such a good time at Tiger Burn last night. Yeah, I was there. That was a great time. It was an awesome time. I got to meet a ton of great Gamecocks. Appreciate you all. So also, by the way, guys, breaking news for yours truly. Breaking news. I just learned that my tickets actually are not in the Upper Deck home side. My tickets are in the Upper Deck south end zone. So you're truly going to be up there with God, shaking hands. Either way, we are in the stadium. That's all I give a damn about. We are in the stadium. We are in the stadium. That is all I care about. I do not give a damn. We are in the stadium. So going to be up there with my south end zone folks, my south upper end zone folks. Shout out to y'all. We're gonna be giving them hell from section 905. Going to be giving them hell from section 905. Can't wait. Yeah, Saturday night's going to be a blast, man. Saturday night's going to be an absolute blast. Again, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. We are going to be tuned into Shane Beamer's media availability here in about 5 minutes or so. Waiting on Coach Beamer to go live. Again, it's a great week to talk shit. It's a great week to have a week. It's a horrid week to be a Clemson Tiger. Mr. 905 Worldwide. Corey Gardner, do you think the game will sell out? If it doesn't, it's going to be pretty damn close. I tell you, I think it will. I've heard we're actually really close to a sellout. So I've heard we're very, very close to a sellout. So, let's see. Jeff Sweat. Yeah, I see. Where did his comments go? Where'd this guy go? What's his name? Jeremiah or whatever his name was. Jeremiah's moral victory is getting the cow milked without spilling it. Yeah, Jeremiah Stewart. Congratulations, Jeremiah Stewart. You played yourself. Congratulations. Less than 300 tickets. Wow. Hey, and I'll tell you this. If you've got tickets and you can't go, whatever, contact yours truly. I will make sure we can make sure they are in the hands of a Gamecock fan. Do not sell your tickets to Clemson fans. That is a no-brainer. Again, guys, 843-790-3377. No shocker here. Gamecocks women's basketball is number 1 in the AP poll that just dropped. What else? Of course, guys, it's game day for men's basketball. Men's basketball taking on Wofford tonight. Taking on Wofford tonight at 7 o'clock at CLA. Yours truly will be in the building. Very much so looking forward to that ball game. Caden Gibson says, did you find out who the commitment was for yesterday? No, nobody knows. Nobody knows. I have no idea. Also, guys, quick reminder. Make plans to come by the TSUS tailgate on Saturday. Spots 93 to 96. We're going to be out there about 12:30 or so. It is going to be a legendary time. It is going to be the spot to be, the tailgate to be at. The tailgate to be at on Saturday. Eric Fryer says, big game, Garnet, white helmets, Clemson in white until the third quarter, then mostly smudged green and red. Yeah, absolutely. 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 I'm fired up, Eric. We're all fired up. We're all fired up. We're all fired up. Abso-freaking-lutely, my man. Abso-freaking-lutely. Jeff Sweat says, Chris, on the GovX website, there are $60 tickets available for the game sections 902, 903, 904, 907. Okay. Jeff, is that for anyone? Is that for anyone? It's for military, correct? Let's see. Again, Shane Beamer speaking to the media in less than 2 minutes or so. So going to be very soon. We'll be tuned into Shane Beamer's media availability. We will be tuned in to Coach Beamer here very, very shortly. Tyler Noel says, I hope they keep the Garnet face masks. Well, I mean, I'm down for whatever. I think you got to wear a big game Garnet, though. I think you got to wear big game Garnet. Got to. You got to channel those 2013 vibes, man. You got to. You got to channel those 2013 vibes. Z-Man White comments. This is Z Dad, so I'm assuming this is Zaquandre White's dad. He says, need to meet you and fuck Mike Bobo. Go Gamecocks. What a legendary moment. I believe that is Zaquandre White's father. Sir, it has been a pleasure to watch your son hit people in the face and run all over people. So thank you, sir. The father of a legend, which makes you the legend. Thank you. Appreciate you tuning in. Cannot wait to watch your son run all over the Clemson defense on Saturday night. Been an absolute treat to watch him tote the rock this year. Daddy O says, Dabo sniffs his fingers after wiping. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I love it. I love it. All right, Shane Beamer to be going live any moment now. Any moment now, he'll be taking the podium, speaking to the media. And it looks like he's live. I don't know what's going on YouTube. Guys, let me switch this over real quick. Let's see. Share screen. All right, my bad, guys. I don't know what's going on. Okay. We're live.
In my office in
All right,
between meetings. What a fantastic comeback win and awesome performance by Ms. Boston. Had a chance to meet her earlier this year and really cool watching them play yesterday. Best of luck. I know I congratulated them over the weekend, but want to congratulate our women's soccer program. for their big victory last week and playing in the Elite Eight quarterfinals, I guess, this weekend for the opportunity to go to the College Cup. So wish them well, and all of our other sports and Coach Martin and men's basketball tonight. I've clearly got to talk with Frank about his basketball scheduling philosophy, because I think this is 2 weeks in a row he's got a game going on at the same time as Carolina Calls, which we have going on tonight as well. So we're going to have to plan better in the future. But if you can't be at the basketball arena for some reason, encourage you to come out to Backstreet's Grill for Carolina Calls tonight with myself and Todd Ellis. But really appreciate all of our head coaches here at Carolina and the text messages and phone calls I got from them after our game Saturday night. I heard from pretty much every head coach, I think, at this university, and Coach Staley all the way from down in the Bahamas, and really appreciate their support. And one of the many things that makes this place so special is just the way we all pull for each other, and we're all seeking one thing, and that's for Carolina to be the very, very best. So honored to be here and be a part of this. Like Steve said, 200 tickets remain for this weekend. We need it sold out. We need it rocking. I want to thank our fans again for the amazing environment last weekend against Auburn. That was fantastic. Our players fed off your energy, and hopefully the way we played created even more energy for our fans in the stands. As I say all the time, we had some great recruits that were here on Saturday night, and they raved about it, even in pregame. I mean, we had a young man here on his official visit, and as soon as I got to the stadium after the walk, I walked out on the field, and he grabbed me and was just blown away with the walk and what SEC football means, and what the environment in that stadium is like. And that was 2 hours before the game. And then if you can imagine what his reaction was after the game, it was even better. So we'll need that again this weekend, and looking forward to a rocking Williams-Brice as well. Injury-wise, we're in pretty good shape. Same thing from Sunday night. Leggett, I know, got banged up against Auburn. We expect him to be okay for Saturday. I think I used the word questionable for Cam Smith on Sunday night. I would say he's still questionable. He was out there at practice today, but was a little bit limited. But other than that, we're in pretty good shape from an injury standpoint, and we need everybody this week as well. This is a fantastic Clemson team that is playing their best football clearly. They've gotten better as the season's gone on. Won 4 in a row, I believe, 6 out of their last 7. You look at what they did against Wake Forest. I think Wake was ranked in the top 10 in the country, I believe, going into that game last weekend, and Clemson dominated them. 333 yards rushing, 543 yards of offense, 7 of 11 on third down last week. 2 running backs that went over 100 yards, not just over 100, but one went for 191 and the other one went for 113. Quarterback continues to get better every week. Defensively, they're fantastic. I mean, they're all over the place. So much respect watching them play, just how multiple they are. I mean, I don't know how they coach it all, because, I mean, they do so much defensively. It's impressive to watch. And when they're disruptive, when you're ranked in the top 4 in the country defensively in sacks and tackles for loss, that's pretty amazing. So disruptive, to say the least, with their defense. They got fantastic personnel. Offensively, they're getting better each week. Their last 4 games, they've scored 30, 44, and 48 in their last 4 games. So they are certainly peaking at the right time. I think Dabo has done an amazing job this season. I saw where Dave Clawson at Wake Forest said it may have been his best coaching job that he's done at Clemson, and I disagree. I saw where Dabo was very kind and mentioned something about me in regards to being the coach of the year in this conference. I think you could certainly make the case that he should be the coach of the year in their conference with the injuries they've overcome all over the field. So many new faces going into the season, and struggle by their standards a little bit earlier in the season to just continue to get better each week, to be sitting here at 8 wins, and they still have a realistic opportunity to win the ACC this season if a couple things go the right way for them this weekend. And if they get into that game in Charlotte, fully expect them to win that if they do. So it's a testament to the great job they've done, and I've got a ton of respect for him. I consider him a friend. He's been very good to me since I took over here at Carolina. His wife has been very good to my wife, Emily, and I think a lot of them. And we're both competitors, and looking forward to a fantastic environment Saturday night. Excited to be back a part of this rivalry. I've been a part of some great ones in my time here as a coach, I should say, starting with, when I was here as an assistant coach before. I think it's pretty cool that Dabo's the head coach now, because I can remember when we were both assistant coaches here. He at Clemson, he was the recruiting coordinator and assistant coach. I was the recruiting coordinator and assistant coach here. He was the interim head coach. I remember going up there on a rainy day in Clemson, and they beat us, and he ended up getting the job the next day, and the rest is history. So pretty cool that it's kind of come full circle in some ways, that we were both previously assistant coaches at our schools, and now we're both the head coach. Done a fantastic job there for sure, and it's great to be right back in the middle of this rivalry. It's one of the great ones in all of college athletics. I've been a part of the Egg Bowl in Mississippi. I've been a part of Oklahoma, Texas, and Virginia Tech, and Georgia Tech, but this one is right up there at the top, and I can't wait for Saturday night. Like always, we're going to need a great week of preparation. Got a big challenge, but excited for the opportunity. So with that, be glad to take any questions you guys and ladies have.
Shane, some of your predecessors in the job have said, well, Clemson's a big game, but there's SEC games. The goal is to win an SEC championship. As a first-year head coach, how do you treat this game, especially for having been in this rivalry before?
Yeah, I think there's a fine line. It's not just another game. I mean, let's be realistic. We understand what this game means to the people of this state and the people in each program. But I do think you have to be careful about putting it too much on a higher pedestal than the other game. I mean, I know there's some programs across the country that have a countdown clock, 365 days a year for this rivalry. We will never, ever, ever, ever do anything like that here at Carolina, and that's no disrespect to Clemson, but I mean, we talk all the time about nameless, faceless opponents and treating everybody the same, and us being at our very best each week and not worried about the opponent. And we just don't say that when we're playing Eastern Illinois. It's the same thing. Now, I'm not an idiot. I understand that this is an intense rivalry and that for the players on both sides and the coaches on both sides, it's different. But to answer your question, I mean, it's not any less important than playing, Georgia, and it's not any more important than playing Troy, and from my standpoint and from our preparation standpoint, and that's not bulletin board material. So Shane Beamer didn't just say that Troy's more important than Clemson. That's not what I said. So please don't start twisting comments and all of a sudden that pops up on Twitter. What I mean, though, is we prepare the same way every week, but certainly I don't need to spend a lot of extra time in my office coming up with motivational tactics this week. Our guys will be reared up and ready to go.
Shane, with that being said, I mean, for some of these guys that are in state, I think they understand the importance of this. For you, obviously, as an assistant coach back in the day here, you understand the importance of this game. Is that something you do bring up to some of these guys? And on top of that, have any former players reached out to you about this game?
No former players yet. I think Connor Shaw has communicated with quite a few of them, and I'm sure they'll have messages for our guys as the week goes. From that standpoint, they don't need to reach out to me. I know how they feel and how important this game is. And what was the first part of it, Mike? I'm sorry.
Is this something that you can bring up to the players that aren't from this state?
Yeah. And it's one of those I don't have to. Like, JJ spoke to the team this morning before we broke it down, and JJ's not even from South Carolina, but JJ, when we broke the team down at midfield, I mean, he had everybody in the huddle, and he was talking about the importance of it. And I think the guys that aren't from this state, they learn pretty quickly how intense this rivalry is. If not, they'll figure it out pretty quickly on Saturday night if they haven't already. But I mean, they all come from rivalries in high schools, and I think they've followed college athletics enough to know what Clemson and Carolina and Clemson mean, and our guys certainly know that, and we make sure they know that. Going back to what David said, I mean, it's the next game, but it's a little bit more intense than just any other game because it is your in-state rival. But we talked about it Sunday in our team meeting. I mean, that's what makes college athletics great. This is my favorite weekend of the year in college football because it's rivalry weekend, and you have the rivalries going on across the country, which is just it's fantastic, and what makes college athletics special.
Shane, DK, and Nick were both talking about how, I mean, they've both been here 3 years. I think neither one of them has played against Clemson. Obviously, you got freshmen and sophomores that haven't played in it. I guess just how different is that dynamic in terms in terms of, having a number of guys and a big number of guys that maybe haven't played in this game before?
Yeah, you hope it's not a big dynamic since you just said that. I think our guys have played in big games and they've been around the program enough to know, that how elevated this one is and things like that. And it'll be, a little bit of a different. Last weekend was a great environment, but it'll be even, amped up even more on Saturday night. But we've got a mature group of guys, and the biggest thing for us is whether you've played in this game, not played in this game. I think sometimes in these rivalry games, sometimes you can get almost like too emotional and just get out there and lose your mind and forget about once that game kicks off, it's still, football, and it's about the 22 guys out there on the field competing against each other.
Will you get a chance to watch the Egg Bowl on Thursday?
Absolutely.
You got a pick?
No, I don't. I don't want to upset anybody in the SEC. It'll be interesting because my wife's obviously a state grad. My in-laws are coming in town, so they'll be here for Thanksgiving. So I can't wait to watch it. Should be a fantastic game and two interesting personalities at head coach for sure. So it should be fun.
Hey Shane, you talked about the rivalries you've been involved in. Well, what do you tell folks at other schools or other parts of the region about the Carolina-Clemson rivalry? The one thing or maybe a couple of things that makes it unique?
Yeah, I think it's just the intensity, obviously, for sure, 365. And I think the one thing that's unique in this rivalry is it's so many other sports. And you say, well, isn't that a big rivalry? But yes and no. I mean, Oklahoma State was big, but it wasn't like people just lived and died with what happened with the weekend baseball results and softball results when Oklahoma played Oklahoma State or whatnot. But with this, it's just so much. There's so much intensity on every sport here at Carolina when we play Clemson, which I do think is unique compared to other schools. And I think it's just the fact that you're in a state where there's no pro sports, necessarily right here in South Carolina. So it's Carolina, Clemson, and it's a small state, very much like Mississippi in a lot of ways. It's a small state, and you have these two programs, and one's in the ACC and one's in the SEC, and it's a bitter rivalry, but it makes it exciting. But it's two programs that I have great respect for their program and appreciate the way they do things and the way they play.
Shane, when you think about this rivalry when you were here last time, are there some things on the field, some moments that stand out to you that are locked back in there?
Oh yeah. 2007, I can remember watching their field goal sail through the uprights that kept us out of a bowl game in 2007. 2008, that was Dabo got the job in 10? No, that was the year he got it. So 2008, rainy day, he gets the job. 2009, I remember all the talk that week was you can't kick it to C.J. Spiller. And I was coaching special teams. You can't kick it to C.J. Spiller when you kick off. And I'm like, well, I'll be dang. I mean, they got Jacoby Ford and Andre Ellington back there in front of them. Like, who do you want me to kick it to? And we kicked it to him on the opening kickoff. DJ and Stephon and all those guys were excited. And then we had a penalty because we were offsides. And I had a voice in my head that a coach told me a long time ago, nothing good happens on a re-kick. And I knew in my mind, don't do it again, Shane. Don't do it again. But then you had DJ Swearinger and those guys are like, kick it to him again. We'll go cover it again. We kick it to him again. I think he went 85 yards for a touchdown the other way. So that one sticks with me. Thanks for bringing that one up. Won the game, thank God. And then we went up there in 2010, and that was obviously a fantastic season because we knew we were going to play in the SEC championship game the next week, and went up there on a Saturday night and got after them pretty good. I remember Antonio Allen, I think, I can still see it in my head. I think we brought in edge pressure off the edge, and he peeled with the back and intercepted it and ran it back for a touchdown. And that was a fun night, my last time being in that rivalry. So yeah, some good moments and not so good moments, but great players and I was, when I left here, was 2010 and Clemson was just at that point getting ready to take off because I went to Virginia Tech and then we played on the next year in the ACC championship game, and obviously what they've done since then speaks for itself. But yeah, some good memories, but a lot of a lot of not so good ones, unfortunately.
Earlier today, Coach Sweeney was saying that he remembers your son asking him for some gear several years ago. Wondering if your son still has that Clemson gear.
He better not.
And what that relationship has been like with you and Dabo. And your son used to be a Clemson fan and all that stuff.
Yeah, appreciate Dabo telling that story in his press conference. First of all, the relationship is fantastic. I think that the world of him. He, like I said, he was an assistant coach at Clemson, and I was an assistant coach here, and we both are kind of tied to Woody McCorvey, who's on the staff at Clemson, and Woody was the man responsible for me going from the University of Tennessee as a graduate assistant to Mississippi State. Woody was a coach at Tennessee at the time and took me to Mississippi State and recommended me to Sylvester Croom, who I didn't know. And got tied in with Coach Croom, and the rest is history. But Dabo and Coach Sweeney and Woody obviously go way back, so we have that mutual friend. And then I've just enjoyed getting to know Dabo over the years. I've always had a ton of respect for him, and then throughout this process, he was, fantastic to me. Reached out to me when my name was getting mentioned for this job, to say I hope you get it, and it would be great. And I talked to him. I think I did my press conference here on that Monday, and literally I think twice that week after the press conference I talked to him. Even during the season. I mean, it's not like I'm calling him weekly, but we've had a couple phone conversations during the season. I actually called him earlier this season, and it was in the middle of his radio show, which I didn't know he did on Monday night. So he literally called me back during the commercial break and said this is probably the first time in the history of this rivalry that both head coaches are talking during the other one's radio show. But it was something that I just had a question about. So I think a lot of him and his family. Kathleen's awesome. Like I said, I know they do things the right way, and I hope he knows that we're going to do things the right way in this program, and he's in it for the right reasons. And I think the thing with him is he's very genuine, and what you see is what you get. In regards to Hunter, my son being at Oklahoma, obviously he was an Oklahoma fan, but for whatever reason, I don't know, I didn't do it, but he started liking Trevor Lawrence and Clemson, and he likes a winner. So obviously when Clemson was ranked number one a lot of those years, he jumps on the bandwagon. So he was a Clemson. He liked watching Clemson. I don't want to go so far as to call him a Clemson fan, but he was playing flag football in Norman and was the quarterback for the flag football team. So he had a pretty good little flag football game where he threw a touchdown pass and ran a touchdown pass. So I sent the video to Dabo because Hunter wanted me to send it to him because he was going to go play for him one day, he told me. And this is before I got this job, clearly. All right. And so ever since then, Dabo texted me back and told him how awesome he was and he was going to come recruit him. So when my name was being mentioned for this job, Dabo, he called me. I think they were getting ready to play Virginia Tech, and he called me. It was like a Wednesday afternoon, and he's like, look, I want to wish you luck. I hope you get it. But my only question is, if you do get this job, who's Hunter coming to play football for in 10 years? And so that's what he said, and Hunter gets a kick out of it as well. But, again, think a lot of him and what he's about, and a lot of the coaches in that program. Danny Pearman worked for my dad at Virginia Tech for a long time. I've known Woody for a long time, and a lot of those guys on that staff. He loves telling that story now.
Brad Johnson was obviously in here a minute ago talking about how he's still kind of trying to figure out what he's going to do for next year. Just generally speaking, whether it's him or other guys who have the benefit of utilizing an extra year because of last year, how nice is it for them? And I guess conversely, how challenging has it been for you guys as coaches to kind of try to juggle that whole dynamic?
Yeah, it is. It's a delicate situation because you don't want to have too many conversations about it because you're focused on the season and the upcoming week, and you want their minds on that. But then you also need to certainly be planning from a recruiting standpoint because it affects your numbers and things like that. And it's fantastic that a lot of these guys have the opportunity to come back. You'll see some people on Saturday night that we'll go through senior night or senior day ceremonies that may come back. next year that haven't made a final decision and whatnot. So those are all things that we'll sit down and talk about, as we get through this week. It's fantastic that a guy like Brad could come back. We hope he does. I think his best football is still in front of him, but certainly it's challenging just recruiting wise, because there's only so many scholarships available. So there's a lot of guys that we're still in on that we're recruiting that, you've got to create a spot somewhere. And there's a lot of guys like Brad that we're not just going to push out the door to bring a recruit in. But each situation is different, and we're going to sit down with all those guys and help those guys make the very best decision possible for them and their futures.
I'm glad there was no Clemson-Oklahoma college football playoff matchup or something like that.
Yeah, I know. And I think a lot of that probably came from he didn't like Alabama because Alabama beat us in the Orange Bowl my first year at Oklahoma. So he kind of naturally chose Clemson and got into it. So, yeah, I guess there was one year if we had won in the semifinals, we were going to have to play him. But he's all Carolina right now. Because I asked him the other night, what are you going to do if Dabo asks you? And I think he's ready for the question. So
it seems like
he better be.
Right. Train him up well. It seems like with this defense, you're not only getting impact and contributions from the returners, but a guy like Carlins has the big pass breakup the other night, and you're getting, Marcel Stiles played a lot of big minutes. What's it say about this defense and this defensive staff that not only the guys that are here are making impacts, but the guys you brought into the portal and some of these new faces are making some
Yeah, great question. I'm glad you brought it up. I mean, we knew what JJ and Aaron Sterling and Jabari and Zach and those guys up front, knew what those guys were about. But, certainly you had RJ and Jalen Foster coming back at the safety position, but you had a lot of new faces. And Cam had some experience. But, Darius Rush, there was a lot of probably questions about. And then you got Marcellus Dial and Carlins Patel and David Spalding and all these guys. I think it's great, that we identified these guys in the transfer portal and felt like they had the ability to come help us. And frankly, I don't know of how many SEC schools would have recruited a defensive back from Assumption College as hard as we did. And that's no disrespect to Assumption College, but I think some people may look at it and say, we're not taking some guy from Division 3, Mike, 2? Division 2, sorry. I know, no disrespect to you, but I'm saying it's good football. We looked at it and saw a good football player and not necessarily where they're coming from. And you could sit there and look at it. There was great competition he was playing at Assumption College, and we brought him in here, and he's worked his butt off, and he made – I talked about it the other night. I talked about Jalen Foster's play that he made the one-on-one tackle against Tank Bigsby, save a touchdown on that drive where he had the ball first and goal on the 6 and got no points out of it. Well, I think CP's play over there on the sideline on that third down pass was just as big a play because, they're at midfield and about to get a first down and have some momentum right there. We get a stop and get off the field. It was huge. So I think it's a testament to our recruiting department and being able to say that we'll go anywhere and everywhere to find guys, and a testament to the coaches for coaching those guys up, and a testament to those guys and what they're about, whether it be Spalding or CP or whoever. Dial played some great snaps the other night as well, and they got to continue to get better. They got a big challenge this week against these receivers and tight ends as well.
Shane, you guys have obviously had some massive wins this year, but after losing 6 straight to Clemson, your first year in this program, how big would a win be over Clemson this year?
It would be huge. It's big every year. You always want to beat your rival. We've done some fantastic things this season, and we have goals still in front of us that we still want to accomplish. But certainly, like I said last week, after we beat Auburn to get bowl eligible, I'd be extremely excited for our seniors, for them to be able to go out. And that's any year. Anytime you beat your rival in the last game, it certainly makes the rest of the year more enjoyable, for sure. But it would be big, but every win we've had this year has been big.
You mentioned earlier how much Clemson does defensively. How unique is that, and what does that give for you in terms of your emotion, anxiety, or whatever with your offense going up against that?
Quite a bit. I mean, they're good. I mean, Georgia's the best team in the country and scored 3 points against them. I mean, the only reason they scored 10 was they ran a touchdown back for a touchdown. So we know the weapons that Georgia has on offense, and they scored 3 points against them. And I know that Clemson's had some injuries since then, but they haven't had that many on defense. I mean, you watch Murphy and Thomas, the way they rush the passer, and I got so much respect for the linebackers and the way they play. I mean, and the defensive backs. I mean, they're really, really good. They're really, really athletic. They're really, really well coached. They're really, really disruptive. I mean, we know what Wake Forest is about offensively, and it seems like they were in the backfield before the quarterback wanted to throw the football every single time Saturday watching that game. So it's certainly a challenge, and they're really good. They're really well coached, and then they're just so multiple. I mean, normally you could, go out and say, okay, we're going to run these plays, and when we line up in this formation, they're going to be in this front, and there's a pretty good chance they're going to be in this coverage. And you're probably going to get these 2 or 3 pressures out of it. With these guys, I mean, it's like you got to be careful in what you do offensively because you can't practice everything against every look that you're going to get from Coach Venables and the defense. I mean, they're so multiple. You just got to be really sound in what you do and be able to execute the plays you know how to against a multitude of fronts. I mean, you sit there and look at 22. I mean, you don't know where he's going to line up. He may be a defensive end. He may be an outside linebacker. He may be an inside linebacker. He may be a safety. It's challenging. So we've really got to do a great job of just communicating and making sure we're all on the same page. I mean, they're going to get some negative plays against us. I mean, we don't expect every single play to necessarily be a positive play. I mean, they're good. We just got to make sure that we make enough plays in the run game and pass game ourselves to be able to move the football because not many teams have been able to do that consistently over and over and over again.
Shane, I know there's been weight issues and injuries and stuff, but to the average fan out there that might say, why hasn't this Jason Brown guy, why didn't he play earlier? And what can you say about, the way he's sort of progressed the second half of the season? Yeah,
I think I'm really proud of him in the way that he's progressed. As far as your first question, Gene, I think a lot of it was just operating the offense, and not that we were too complicated for Jason, so we don't need to start with they were running a pro-style offense that was too complicated for him to learn, because that's not the case at all. But just as far as the confidence to make calls, to know exactly what we were doing, for the other 10 guys out there to get all of them on the same page, because there's a lot on the plate of the quarterback. He back in August, he wasn't where he needed to be, right now. I mean, I'll use a play in I think it was the Eastern Illinois game. I mean, Eastern Illinois brought like a zero blitz, meaning like max pressure, and there's nobody. There's one-on-one with EJ, and he had EJ wide open on the left side, and I'm pretty sure he didn't get rid of the ball to EJ, and he took a sack on it, when it really should have been, if he just throws that ball up to EJ, it's probably a touchdown. Just little things like that. And I'm not saying that nobody made a mistake in the game against Eastern Illinois except him, but just things like that of just understanding protections and pressures and things like that he was a little bit behind on. Luke Doty gave us some athleticism at that position and is a good quarterback. Zeb had a little bit more experience just because he had been coaching, so that's why we went to Zeb. But it was never because we didn't have confidence in Jason. We always did, and that was early in the season and throughout. But he's bettered himself as the season has gone on. He's worked really hard to become an even better quarterback, and it's exciting to see the progress that he's making. He did some really good things against Florida, and then Missouri's a new game, and then last week he did some good stuff as well, and he's got to continue to progress, and we're going to need him to play well on Saturday because we're going to have to make some throws to win this game.
Just 2 quick ones. Notice that you guys probably around like 12:20 were still out on the field. Was that designed today, or was that because, with Thanksgiving on Thursday as well, did that play a role?
No, it really wasn't designed. We got started a little bit late. The head coach went a little bit long in the team meeting this morning. It was pretty energetic, and we had some good stuff we were doing and talking about. We were recognizing a lot of the freshmen that are redshirting, some of the gains they've made in the weight room this season. They maxed out on some tests in the weight room on Friday, so we were recognizing those guys, and and doing some fun things that we typically do in that team meeting on Tuesday. So that meeting went a little bit long, so we just pushed the start back by about 10 minutes to start, and we had some competitive periods out there against each other. So sometimes when our guys get to competing and talking and competing and talking, they don't want the period to end, and you have to shut up JJ and you have to shut Zaquandre up and get them to the next period and things like that as well. So that's why it just kind of happened.
And in your opinion, is Thanksgiving a holiday or a meal?
Thanksgiving is a holiday, in my opinion. Good question.
Wow, don't know how to follow that question up. What have you heard from fans around the state? With this game haven't been played in more than 700 days. What's the expectation just in terms of how much that's just going to ratchet up the atmosphere and just the anticipation for this game even more?
Yeah, beat Clemson. What I've heard, since I got the job. I mean, there's a lot of excitement from their standpoint because it didn't get played last season. There's a lot of excitement from their Clemson standpoint, our standpoint, just the opportunity to go compete against a program that whose track record speaks for itself the last 10 years or so, and one that's a great program and has great players and coaches. So it's a great opportunity for us to go compete, and certainly it'll be a little bit more meaningful this year because it didn't get played last year, which was disappointing. I hated it, as a coach and as a fan, that last weekend or last year at this time you didn't have that rivalry weekend. I mean, I think at Oklahoma we were getting ready to play West Virginia on Thanksgiving week last year, and it ended up getting canceled because of COVID. But it's you missed the rivalry weekend, so I'm glad it's back. Starting with the Egg Bowl on Thursday, and I think the Tar Heels and the Wolfpack on Friday night. So it should be a great weekend of football. Thank you, Coach. All right, thank you guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, guys, that was Shane Beamer. Good stuff from Coach Beamer. We got a little bit over 10 minutes left. We'll take your questions, your comments, your calls as well. 843-790-3377. That is 843-790-3377. A lot of interesting tidbits. Maybe the most interesting. Shane Beamer says that Thanksgiving is a holiday, not just a meal. Shout out to my good buddy Mike Yuva for that fantastic question. That hard-hitting journalism, I'm glad he asked that, though, because after what the previous head coach had said, it's great to hear from Shane Beamer that Thanksgiving, yes, folks, it is indeed a holiday. Again, I want to take your questions, comments, calls, continue to hear from you the last 10 minutes or so of the Daily Crow, 843-790-3377. That's 843-790-3377. Josh Smith says, how can I get a Beat Clemson hat before the game on Saturday? So I actually don't even make these. My friend on Twitter, @BeatClem, he sent me these one year. I don't make these hats. I mean, we certainly could. We've got the Clem Sucks hats and the Clem Sucks merch, but unfortunately, if you ordered it right now, you will not get it by Saturday. You will not get it by Saturday. So that's why I tried to tell people a couple weeks ago, hey, go ahead and order your Clem Sucks merch if you want to have it by kickoff. But, anyways, whatever. Still order it because we hate Clemson 24/7, 365. That's the beautiful thing about the Clem Sucks merch, by the way. It's not sports specific. It's not time of year specific. Every day is a great day to hate Clemson. Every single day. Anyways, guys, 843-790-3377. Some very interesting comments. Some very interesting comments from Shane Beamer. Again, you can tell we got spam coming in, of course. The Muschamp hackers, if you will. The Muschamp hackers, if you will. So let's see. Luke RJ, thoughts about the Beamer and Dabo relationship? Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a lot better than it was, I think, with Will Muschamp. How much would that really matter on Saturday? I don't know. But I definitely think, if nothing else, there's a respect. There's a mutual respect between the coaches that I don't know was there when Will was there. So, I think there's a mutual respect this year. Brian Welch, the only thing that is sports specific or season specific is Clem Sox fans. So, Andrew the textbook, Muschamp believe Thanksgiving was third down day. Good to see Beamer is not as harsh on them. I mean, they'll probably practice. I would imagine, guys, they're still going to practice Thursday. They're definitely still going to practice. But, yeah, it just makes your head coach feels like he's a little more human. You know what I mean? He's like a little bit more normal. Not like he's like a football Nazi. You know what I mean? So, let's see. Elizabeth Ballard says Beamer is so likable. Yeah, I'd agree. Scott Stapp says Dabo thinks Thanksgiving is just a meal. Love it. Colton Carnell says, I don't know if I like how friendly they are, but I like how good of a guy Beamer is. I mean, again, guys, it's just like any other week. You're not going to hear the coaches go after each other. And, I know Spurrier and Dabo had that thing. But, again, first year in the rivalry, again, it's just going to be like every other presser where Shane Beamer's going to be very complimentary of his opponent. And, I mean, what do you expect? You know what I mean? I don't expect to get anything crazy in a Tuesday presser from Shane Beamer. Corey Bridges, do you think the spike of tickets that have been bought were mostly by Carolina fans? I don't want another 2019 Willie B. I think so. Yeah, I think so. Josh Smith says, how much of the capacity will be Clemson fans? I say 70-30 Gamecocks. I think it'll be more Gamecocks now. I'm thinking like 85-15, 80-20, 80-20 maybe. I think it'll be mostly Gamecocks. Yeah, I think it'll be mostly Gamecocks. Just 200 tickets remaining. In case you just missed Steve Fink and what he said, and Shane Beamer obviously reconfirming, 200 tickets remain, though. 200 tickets remain to Saturday's game of the Gamecocks take on the Clemson Tigers. But again, you can hear some of that Steve Spurrier mentality coming out from Beamer. And I think it's smart. I think it's smart in saying that, again, Clemson's a big game. We obviously know how big it is. He'd be silly and foolish to pretend like it's not a huge game. But you treat every single game the same. Because again, guys, like I told you, for the fans, we can have all the emotion. We can have all the energy. We can have all the craziness. And they're going to have emotion too. But you can have too much emotion in regards to the players on the field. That's got to be put aside. You got to subside that emotion and go execute and go play. At the end of the day, it's a football game. At the end of the day, it's a football game. So you got to go play football. You got to go execute. The team who can do that better, that's the team that's going to win. Bottom line. So I tell you, I think the most asked question by people this year is Jason Brown, does he have more eligibility? Yes, he can come back next year. Yes, he can come back. Yes, he can come back. Yes, he can come back. Boom. There you go. Let's see. Again, guys, questions, comments, calls. Got less than 10 minutes to go. Here on a Tuesday. Of course, we've got the Clem Sucks fans in the chat today, as was expected. We've got the Clem Sucks fans in the chat. Like I told you guys earlier, man, I really do feel bad for Clemson fans in the sense of, like, I have been tagged so many times. So many of our tweets have been tagged with Clemson Tom, right? So many of them. And it's like the content creator that Clemson fans cling to, it doesn't even make content. So I feel for him. Yeah, Josh Smith, no kidding. They're all trolling. Big fat meanie. Clemson doesn't consider South Carolina a rival, just another game. That is the biggest crock of bullshit you will ever read, ever hear. Clemson fans loathe and despise South Carolina, just like South Carolina fans despise and loathe Clemson fans. That is a crock of shit. Tylenol says, also with a fully healthy Doty, I expect the quarterback battle to be a good one next spring. I agree with you. And it would not surprise me at all if the Gamecocks went to the transfer portal for a quarterback. Would not surprise me at all. Again, I like Jason Brown. Obviously, you all know I like Luke Doty. But, if you can go get a guy that's going to enhance that position, if you can go get a guy that's going to, upgrade that position, you go do it. You go do it because you've got to find QB1. You've truly got to have QB1, a guy that you can really, really build around and win with. And again, I like Jason Brown, don't get me wrong, but if you can go pull in a guy like that, I think you go do it. So. Big fat meaning the fact your content creators you go to is sad. What have we done? No, big fat meaning if the fact of the matter is you're in this show right now. Clemson fans don't have their own show they can tune into that's worth a damn. So I know your brain is, you can't comprehend what I say. You probably don't even know what a content creator is or what content is or probably what the definition of the word creator is. I understand like that peewee brain can't comprehend sentences and exactly what I'm saying, but just try to keep up. In the spirit of rivalry week and friendly back and forth banter, try to keep up, my guy. Try to keep up. Let's see. Luke RJ, pretty sure we can look forward to having some players contribute from the portal every year. Beamer works hard in recruiting, can find some players that can help and are underrated. Dial, Platel, Spalding. Yeah, the transfer portal is the reality of college football. So whether Dabo Swinney wants to acknowledge that or not, it is. It is. So if you can go and get quality football players in the transfer portal that can help you immediately, you go do it. You go do it for sure. Let's see. So I'm pretty sure, by the way, guys, just in case you're wondering, Big Fat Meanie is without a doubt Clemson Tigers because he's saying the exact same thing. So I think that's Clemson Tigers. Literally it. So I think that's Clemson Tigers. So you guys can have your way with him because, again, he's saying the exact same things the other guy was saying. Yeah. So, anyways. Courtney Washington says, why do that if Luke Doty's your guy? Maybe they won't, Courtney. Maybe they won't do that. But again, if you can upgrade the position, I mean, this isn't peewee, right? It's you got to go get the best guy. The best guy needs to play. I mean, if you have a no-brainer type dude, you're like, hey, this is going to make us better as a football team, you go get him. So, I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe they won't pull anybody in, and you got Braden Davis coming in too. So, how that shakes out will be very, very interesting. But it just wouldn't shock me if Beamer went to the portal yet again. It wouldn't shock me. Tyler Noel says one of the least talked about commits to us is Landon Sampson. The kid's going to be a major contributor year one. Him and Van will be amazing to watch. Yeah, I'm excited for him. So, Eric Fryer says, newsflash, I blocked Coach Ford. Since I can't see into that crap, it must be Coach Ford. No, I think it's a Clemson fan, Eric, which I guess you could argue that maybe you think Coach Ford's a Clemson fan. Luke RJ says, Beamer likes competition. Yeah, again, iron sharpens iron. If you can go get a guy in the portal that helps you out, why not? But all we got's all we need right now. Excited for the guys we're going to put out there this weekend, of course, and we'll worry about that when we get to it. But great stuff from Shane Beamer today. Great Tuesday, guys. Again, quick reminders, just in case you have not done so, check out the podcast that dropped this morning, episode 542. Alex McGrath and I breaking down everything that happened over the weekend, Gamecocks and Auburn, as well as, of course, this weekend with the rivalry matchup. We talked about all that, much more. Also, guys, of course, just a quick reminder, we are live tomorrow night at Tin Roof in the Vista, 5 to 7. Would love to have you guys come on out. No Daily Crow Thursday, but that's the only difference in this week's lineup. Is again, of course, the podcast will drop as normal. Content, bleeding out of the eyeballs. And, of course, the TSUS tailgate on Saturday before the game, Saturday night. Again, folks, the great week to have a week, great night to have a night as well. Hey, go Cox beat Wofford, by the way, at the CLA. Yours truly will be in the building. We got Shane Beamer's call-in show. Again, content bleeding out of the eyeballs. Folks, it's 2 o'clock. I'm out. Appreciate you all tuning in. Go Cox, beat Wofford, fuck Clemson, and we'll talk.